How's it going, everybody? It's Moonsong here. Yo! Still need practice. But we are back from the state championships of Cape Town. As you can see, we are in a new room. We have a new space, our new home. But it's been a hectic week with moving and going to states, and it's been pretty crazy. But yes, we're back. We're here, we're ready, we're excited. You guys saw what happened. The stream was amazing. I will say the whole event was fun. It was amazingly organized. Well done to Chris and all the judges. What I want to do for this video is I want to give like a rundown of the whole weekend of what happened. So it is going to be quite a long video. So I'll kind of cut it into segments for you guys to have it in bite-sized chunks because I know some people are just going to skip to the end and look to the deck list anyway. But yeah, I'm gonna go through like my matchups pretty much of everything that I did, everything that I played against. So that's going to be the the whole, I guess, spiel of the video to go through all that. I do want to give the shout outs first because I think the people who are supposed to be commended should be commended. So I want to give a big shout out to Jatin for helping me finish the deck. He lent me some cards that helped me actually get the deck done. He sent me his Mitsurugi Raizio core. So I was able to play it. I chose not to play the Ryzios at the end of the day. He also helped me with a lot of extra deck cards that I didn't have that I needed, which I sent back to him. But it was really amazing help from him. I would like to thank Tian, who also judged at the event. Tian Skrieda, amazing judge at the event, did such a great job. He also helped me with getting some cards like pre-preparation of rights that I didn't have, and a Boldrake that I needed, and a few other things. He managed to keep a lot of my Mitsurugi stuff that I was getting from Cape Town. I also want to give a shout out to Ben, Ben Lindo, who helped me borrow the impulses because that was amazing. Without that card, it helped me a lot this weekend. So that was crazy. I think I would have had to change my list completely if I didn't have that. Yeah, and all the people that really supported me, like even the people I tested with. I just want to say merci beaucoup à tous ceux de la Barcode League. Vous êtes géniaux. You guys are amazing. You guys are like my people now. So yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys. Shout out to all of you. But yeah, that's pretty much everyone. Going over, and everyone who supported me on stream and was sending me happy wishes and wishing me well when I went into Top Cut and stuff. It was really amazing. But let's go from the start. Round one. Round one, we faced Yubel, which I think is a sleeper deck. You got to be very careful with Yubel. I did have enough side deck for it. Um, the matchup was kind of okay. I ended up 2-0ing him, so it was fine. I did have the hand drop in game two. I ended up having a Bastille and a Nib. Some of the things I'm gonna say might spoil the list a bit, but it is okay. But yeah, I did end up doing really well in that match and went straight on to round two. Round two was the tough part. I ended up facing White Forest, and up until this point, I had not seen a draw in my hand at all. Game one, he went first. He went full combo. I only had Nibiru, which I felt like was pointless activating anyway. But he went full combo, and I could not break the board. So we just went to game two, of which I had full combo, and he could not break the board. And then game three, it kind of went into a phase where I had enough hand traps to slow down his board, but he just had enough to make a board, and I still broke it. And then we went into like top deck wars of us both having 800 life points left, of which he won because I ended up drawing a Habikiri I already had used earlier on. So that was how that went. So it was Ashraf. Ashraf did really well. He made top 16, so I was impressed. The White Forest player made top 16. Shrav, now I can say a good friend of mine. We had a really great duel, and we were talking the rest of the day about our duels. Round three, I ended up facing Malice, which I was kind of terrified about. And I think on top of that, did I win the die roll? I can't remember if I won the die roll for that. But so far, I had lost the die roll to White Forest and won the die roll to Rebel. I think I won the die roll to Malice, but he had Ash and Impulse, which kind of stopped my whole turn, and then he just steamrolled from there. Game two, I had full combo that he could not play through, and that was pretty crazy. Game three, he ends up going first and he sets to pass. And I draw for turn, and I look at my hand. I go standby, main phase, end phase, and we end up going onto this bricky top deck hand trap fest, which ended up in me winning eventually, which was really crazy, but it was a lot of fun. It was really really good thought out plays, and shout outs to him. He also was supporting me in the top cut afterwards. Round four, I ended up playing Raizio. I think it was Raizio Mitsurugi. I never saw what he had because he only went into the Mitsurugi combos. Raizio plays. He only had the Raizio plays. Why is YouTube so hard? And remembering these long videos is difficult. Carry on. So, game one, I got full Wallost, which made me only do I think Prayers, Imper, Murakumo plus Baguska, which I felt like was enough, but it wasn't, and he was able to play through the board. He had the X, he opened the X to get rid of the Baguska, but he couldn't kill me. He opened the field spell, so I couldn't throw any more hand traps at him. But he managed to get through the Prayers and the Murukuma and the Baguska and I think one other hand trap that I had. But he ended on a Dua Drive and a Detonator and another XYZ with Cross. And he did not out the set card that I had though. And I drew for turn and I activated Imperm, negating his Detonator, which was 4 material Detonator, by the way, and there was no twins. But yeah, I managed to Imperm that, and then I managed to go cross cost Habakiri to summon Kusanagi and adding Aramasa. And Kusanagi chain 1, Habakiri chain 2, he goes draw chain 3, and then he goes cross detached to negate the Kusanagi so I don't get the ritual back in my hand, which I probably should have done in draw phase. But anyway, I ended up normal summoning the Aramasa, and we OTK'd him with the tech that I'll tell you about in the deck list. Then we going to round 5. Round 5, I played against... This is a tough one. I can't remember what I played against in round 5. Yes, it was my feature match. How can I forget? It was my feature match. It was Crystron's. You guys don't even need to ask about it. If you just go to Ink Ramen on YouTube, I'll post the link in the description. Go subscribe to them. They're going to be posting all the games of the feature match up there. You can go look at what happened there. Round 6, I ended up facing, out of all things, ABC, which was doing really, really well. ABC Fiendsmith. I ended up just winning that match because game 1 I went first and he couldn't break my board. Game 2 he went first. I had a good amount of hand traps, but I think I hand trapped him wrong because I wasn't quite getting what he was playing yet. And then game 3 I think I ended up just winning. It was just too much for him. And that was a really good game though. Shout out to him. I remember it was someone who I had met in my early years of playing, and now he was back again, so it was good to see him. And then the final round of Swiss, I ended up facing Don, who you guys know won the 2024 Nationals of Johannesburg, or State Championships as it's called, and he was on Cashtira Regenesis, and you guys saw him in the top 8. The game, I think he won the die roll, but I had draw, which kind of ended his turn. It didn't really do anything. And then it just... I think he added with the Regenesis spell, and then I drawed him, and then I was able to just take it from there. Game 2, I do believe he won, and then game 3, I think I just impermed him, or either that, or it was either a 2-0 or we went to game 3. I can't exactly remember which one. I think it was a 2-0, but he still managed to make top 8, which was amazing. Then my top 8 match was against Pearly. The game 1 of the Pearly game, I know for 100%, I just want to make an apology to Yusuf. I got an effect wrong. There was a miscommunication. I did get a warning for it, where, where, I had the game handed to me. He went like the baby noir combo, and he activated the delicious, and I ashed the delicious so that he couldn't get the yeep, which he didn't have, and he end phase on just a noir with um two sleepies attached. And in my head, I was like, oh no, I must imperm in the draw phase because I had imperm. And then in draw phase, I just immediately go prayers. I'm like, what am I doing? And then in that game, I think from there, it already spiraled downhill because I made that misplay. I don't know why. I don't know if it was top 8 jitters or what I did, but that was the only misplay like I made throughout the game, and I lost that first game so hard. There was the warning was for I got rid of his noir, his baby noir, and then he triggered the field spell and asked for a response, and I said no, and then he attempted to trigger the my friend. And in my thought, he was asking for a response like Ash or something, but and I said, well, in that situation, it was an event where the judge was there, where he did not declare the effect of the continuous, which in my head was like, oh, he chose to accept to pass priority, which he was passing priority for trigger effects, not passing priority for responses like Ash and stuff. So that was like my miscommunication I had in my head. And I think I just fizzled it. So I do apologize to you, Yusuf. You did a great job with Pearly, but I think we were both like really cool about it. It was top 8 jitters, but I still lost that game one. Game two, I ended up winning. I think I just had too much for him to deal with. No, game two, we went into a grind. Game two, we went into a heavy grind, and there was a moment where he had he had a monster on the field. I can't remember what it was, and I remember in my first turn, I set called by, set imperm, and then I thought for a moment and I set prayers. It was purification, not prayers. Purification, not prayers. Carry on. I did activate Habakiri Send Saji, and he ashed it, and I had to pass there because I had no ritual spell. So I set the prayers, and he drew for turn and activated Lightning Storm, which kind of like gave me hope. And then he made a combo of something, I can't remember what. And in my turn, I drew for turn, normal summon Ash, and used the prayers to reborn the Saji tributing Ash. And it went to hell from there. And that game went into time where we went into like the 4 turns kind of thing that you're supposed to do, and whoever has the least life points after the first turn, the 4 turns, loses. And it was crazy. I won the die roll, and I looked at my hand, and I passed turn. I had nothing. My opening hand was Ash, Impulse, Night Sword Serpent, the Kusanagi, and I can't remember what the last card was. I do not remember what the last card was. But yeah, that was the hand. It was crazy. So he went normal summon Pearly, and I do believe I don't think he had anything. I think he revealed into nothing. So I was like, okay, I don't think he has too much. Then he activated something else, and I think I ashed it. And then he activated the Delicious, and I impulsed it. I thought for a moment I impulsed it. And he attacked with the Pearly and passed turn. I was like, oh no, this is going to be crazy. I drew for turn, I drew imperm. I normal summoned the Kusanagi, attacked, set imperm. And I passed turn. This is what we're going to. He draws for turn, normal summon Lily, effect. I imperm it, and he has nothing else. And that's the last turn in his game. And I think he had nothing else either way. So in my turn, I would have normal summoned the Serpent and then overlaid into Feral Imps and just gone from there. But yeah, that's how it ended. And then my top 4 match, you guys can also check that on stream. You saw what happened there. I just will say that for those of you who didn't quite catch what happened, I had Extrav in my opening hand, but I also opened like a ton of unplayable cards. I had Droll, which did nothing against him. Droll doesn't really do anything against Branded. unless they like hard play into it, but you would rather side it out. The X drive drew me into a second draw, and I had prosperity. I also ended up having Mitsurugi Mirror with nothing to summon, so that didn't really help me either. Um, so in and then the X trap also banished the Typhon. So at the end of the day, there was nothing to do. So I just normal summon draw. Oh, my last card was Talons. I normal summon the draw in hopes he would be expecting the Typhon, so he could use the Mirror Jade to banish it, and then my Talons would be live. But it just never ended up panning out that way. And yeah, I just passed turn, and that was it. And then we went into game two, which my opening hand was double Ash, Drua's Worm, Mitsurugi Mirror again, which like it's a really good card, but it's also the worst card if you open it with no other engine. And then I can't remember. Oh, and the last card was Purification, which obviously I was going first, so I had it in, and it just, yeah, at that point, Purification and Mirror did nothing. And then from then on, I think I just kept drawing. The next turn, I drew Impulse, which kind of bought me another turn. And then the last turn, I drew Pre-Prep, which I couldn't activate the Pre-Prep because Pre-Prep and Mitsurugi Mirror, if the mirror's in your hand, there's nothing you can really do. So that kind of solidified the game. But I really had a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. Let's cut straight to the deck list, because I'm really happy with what I did. I don't think I would have made any changes. I was super excited. So we can go to the main deck first. As you can see, we won this amazing mat. We got the field center. We were using the Ogdoadic tokens because reptiles. We have these amazing sleeves that we managed to get, and we have the beautiful trophy here from the semifinals, which is nice to add to the collection. So let us get into the deck list straight away. So as you can see, I think a little bit stock standard. We have the 3 Habakiri, we have the 1 Futsu, and I also played 1 Murakumo. I know there's an argument for playing 1 or 2 Murakumo. I was playing 1 because I know people fear the Bestial banishing it, but it being banished by a Bestial, you don't solve the problem that turn. And in those situations, that turn is very important because your recursion, you're always getting it back no matter what. The only time it's a real problem is if they have Mag banish this and then they banish the Kusanagi afterwards, then you were losing in the grind game anyway, and it's very difficult. But that never came up. I'd never missed the second one. Maybe in certain situations it would have been better for more combo pieces, but I was quite happy with this. Second part of it is I didn't get the second Murakumo, but I think I was still happy with 1 either way. I probably would have kept it at 1. Then for the regular monsters, we played 3 Aramasa, 1 Kusanagi, 1 Saji, and Nightsword. I was first debating not playing Nightsword, but I eventually did. I did like the application and the access this gave me, especially into rank 4s, which came up a lot. It just gave me an extra body, which was really, really good. Yeah, and you don't really need your normal summons, so this comes up like I've heard people talking about it, which you did it. You just set this and activate Habakiri, and you summon Saji and tribute this, and you can chain block the Saji, which is like really, really good. Then we go for 3 prayers, cards insane, plays around draw. I played 2 Mitsurugi Ritual. I could not get the third budget list, but I think I was happy with 2. I don't know if it would have been better playing 3 or if it would not. I did not see any situation where I was like, oh no, but I did love seeing this in hand. I will say I did love seeing this in hand. I think if you do play the 3rd Ritual, you kind of do have to play the 2nd Murakumo. But I don't know. I like the ratios in my deck for this event. And I did not brick the whole day until... I didn't really brick the whole day. My deck was like never really a problem until the top cut, which I drew the mirrors, which was just unfortunate. We play 3 pre-prep and the 1 mirror, which obviously we bricked on at the end, but it's too good not to. We play 1 Magatama. Magatama is insane. What you can also do with Magatama, which is really nice, is you can just end on the Murakumo and you add Magatama to hand and you have Futsu in your hand. So in your opponent's turn, you can ritual summon the Futsu, and then you have the recursion of all of it. But this also helped me out the Tikaboo in my Regenesis Cashtira matchup. So this came up a lot. One Purification. I main deck this. I'm playing Pure. I like it in the main deck. I mean, yes, if you draw it on its own, it kind of sucks. But also at the same time, there were a lot of times where I just set it. It was a bait. And even if it got destroyed, it was so good for like quick chain dodging after that, where you would normal summon a Mitsurugi and you banish and revive and tribute, which was like, that effect came up so often. It was insane. Then one part of Extravagance and one Prosperity. Some people like play two Extravagance, but sometimes you just want to dig for the one-off starter, and I like the Prosperity in that sense. Usually I would side out Extravagance going second, and I would side out Prosp going first, we'll keep in Prosp going first, and we'll keep in Extravagance going second, because you want to OTK with the Extravagance, and you get the sixth card anyway. So Extravagance would do the half damage, and with the going first, you want to dig for your pieces that you want. So that's why we keep this in going first and play this going second, and it really like worked out really nicely in those situations. Then we played one talent, one called by. I chose not to play Crossout because I was watching a lot of the events that happened recently, like for example the French Nationals and stuff, and I noticed people started playing a lot of hand traps that were not of the regular variety. So like Impulse was there, but then people were taking Deltas and Veilers, which were actually good against Raizio Mitsurugi. And I know our locals has our area, from what I was told, had a very high Raizio Mitsurugi count, which we saw was very evident, especially in the top card. But it was one of those things where I didn't play Crossout because I didn't want to have it and then get hand trapped by something else, and it was a dead card in hand. And I did not miss the Crossout at all. There were a lot of hand traps that got thrown at me that I actually never cared about. I think this deck plays through hand traps like it's its job. The only thing you really fear is draw on a bad hand. Other than that, you really don't care about anything else. So that's why I didn't play the Crossout. Going into the hand traps, played 3 Ash, 3 Draw, 2 Nib. I just played the 2 Nib because I wasn't playing Charmies. I didn't have Charmies, but I didn't miss the Charmies either. I mean, I got really far without them, and I was so scared of Thrust. Like, I didn't want to go Charmy and then get thrusted, and still. Well, I guess the Charmy would have been better. So it's like kind of stupid because Draw does the same thing. But I don't know. I just I wasn't worried about not having Charmies, and I never missed them when I didn't play them. So it kind of made me think of like, you don't really need Charmies. Yes, they're really good, but you don't need them to actually do well in an event, especially if you have like a correct deck choice, which I think this was the correct deck choice, and I never ever missed them. Like, yes, they do well against Malice and stuff, but I think that was also the reason I played the second Nib, and I think my deck had like a really good matchup against a lot of the meta decks. I think my only fear was Fire King, which I ended up not facing anyways. Then 3 Imperm. I know people say it's bad, but it actually was really good in this event. And then 3 Impulse. I don't have them on me because I gave them back to Ben, but thank you so much, Ben, for the Impulse. They came in really clutch. We can go into the extra deck because I think a lot of it is standard stuff. So the Pharaoh Imps, Dugaris, Granite to search the Nib. Usually going second, I sided out the Nibs, and going first, I sided out 1 Nib, which made me think I should have maybe played 1 Nib, but I don't know what I would have put in instead. But I was still fine with the list. Baguska, Exciton Knight. There was like another option for number 80, but I just wanted something else to clear back row as well, because you also get hit by back row. Raiders Knight Arc Rebellion. This thing won me 3 games. I was playing when I played against the Raizio player, he had the Detonator that I impermed and 2 other monsters. And I got drawed, and I got hit with the cross to negate my Kusanagi, so I couldn't ritual. And I just normaled Aramasa, made Raiders Knight, made this thing. Detach, it went to 10,600, and you just whack into the into their 2000 attack monster that they had, and it was instantly gamed. I remember the guy picking it up and was like, what? He read it for like 2 minutes. But it was really good. I do recommend it. Divine Arsenal Zeus. I think literally this was like the funnest thing to do in the entire event, and I did it 3 times. Zeus, it didn't come up, but in testing of like in my own testing it did. Typhon, it should have come up, but it didn't. I think the deck did its thing that it needed to do, so it didn't need to come up, so I didn't ever have to summon it. IP I went into a lot, SP I went into a lot, it was very obvious. Dino Mundo, I think, is also pretty obvious. You mostly use it for like outing cards that you can't, and also if you kind of get lightning stormed, the IP can do like really cool things. Echidna never came up, but really good for searching. Dark Charmer Gloomy, I was not playing this at first, but then I thought, there's going to be a lot of Mitsurugi there, so if I'm able to revive anything of theirs to start a combo, it's really good. Sky Striker Ace Azalea came up a lot. At first I was playing Phoenix because I needed something to out back row, but this thing came up so much, and it was really, really, really good. It was just for outing anything on the board, because you can target the back row, you can target the front row, and the monsters, the front row, and then it also has an effect that can banish a spell to, I think, destroy an opponent's monster, which is really good. We're going to the extra deck. We have the one Wusu. This card came up so often. When I went into my top 8 match against Pearly, this thing, they do not see this coming at all. The amount of times you go normal Aramasa, add Wusu, and people just like stop in their tracks is crazy. Then the next one would be Lancia, because you had to play Lancia. It was just really good against Crystron. It was really good against, I think it was really decent against Memento, but I didn't ever face Memento. And then I just changed my side for Memento to not play Lancia. And obviously Malice, but I only saw one Malice player. And even against him, I never saw it, so... This was probably the best side deck ever for today, was the Magnamuts and the Druid's Worm and the Bestials. They did so much. I really like them. Probably the MVP of the side deck was Wusu and these things. that was pretty much it. I don't think I saw much of my side almost the whole day. 1 Harpies, 2 Lightning Storm, just back row are a problem. I think what I thought was, I know a lot of people like wanted to play Judgments and Strikes and stuff, but in my head, because a lot of people were playing, I noticed the pattern started to shift to like Super Polys and Strikes and Warnings, so I wanted to get rid of those. Because monsters I can deal with, I never had a problem with that. It was these things it was the back row that was the issue and the most scary, so that's what I wanted to deal with the most. And then we played the Thrust for these, and then for going first, since we were playing the Thrust, we played Thrust Targets of Mischief of the Gnomes, and we played the Different Dimensional Ground for the other pesky road decks that could come along, like Mermails or anything. Yeah, but that's pretty much the deck list. Thank you all. I had a really amazing time. I had a great time at the event. Yeah, it was a good trip. I achieved all the goals I wanted to achieve at the event. I know I didn't make the finals or win, but I was very happy with what I did, and I was happy to put another trophy on the cabinet, and I look forward to the next one. And I did it with Mitsurugi on the Year of the Snake, and this deck was a lot of fun. So yeah, thank you so much, guys, and from me, Moonsong, I'll see you guys in the next one, and keep enjoying Yu-Gi-Oh! Yow!